I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
Yes, he is very near by this. He was not but 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort. None of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine named Claudio.
Yes, much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed better bettered expectation than you must expect of me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be much glad of it.
I have already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him. Even so much that joy could not show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better is it to weep at joy than joy at weeping?
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars, or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, yes, he's returned, and as pleasant as he ever was.
He set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid at the flight. And my uncle's fool, reading the challenge, subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the bird bolt. But I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
Oh, you have musty victual, and he hath helped to eat it. He's a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
and a good soldier, too, lady.
Oh, and a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord. A man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But as for the stuffing, we're all mortal.
You must not so mistake, my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but what a skirmish of wit breaks out between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off. Now is the whole man governed with 1. So that if he have enough wit to keep himself warm, let him bear 4 difference between himself and his horse, for it is all the wealth that he hath left to be known as a reasonable creature. But I pray you, who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
It's possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your books.
No, and he were, I would burn my study. Oh. But who is his companion? Is there no young squire who will make the voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord. He will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence of a taker presently runs mad. Oh, God help the noble Claudio. If he hath caught the Benedict, it'll cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Two good friends.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Leonato, you've come to meet your trouble? It's the fashion of the world to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace, for trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I believe this is your daughter?
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no. But then you were a child.
You have it full, Signor Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man, that the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you're like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all of Messina. As like him as she is.
I wonder that you still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear lady Disdain? Are you yet living?
Oh, is it possible Disdain should die while she hath such meat food to feed it? As Signor Benedict, courtesy itself must convert into disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat? But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
Oh, a dear happiness to women. They would else be troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God, in my cold blood, I'm of your humor of that. I'd rather hear a dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so that some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Oh, scratching it cannot make it worse, and 'twas such a face as yours.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer, but keep your way. In God's name, I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, our good friend Leonato hath invited you all. I say we shall stay here a month, and he prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from the heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not many words, but I thank you.
Please it your grace lead on.
Your hand, Leonato.
We will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do, for my simple true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, i' faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow? Or do you play the flouting jack to tell us Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go in the song?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that I ever looked upon.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin. If she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
Oh, I would scarce trust myself. Though I had sworn the contrary, if here would be my wife.
Is't come to this? In faith, hath the world not one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion. Shall I never see a bachelor of 60 again? Go to, i' faith, and thou wilt need thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee, on thy allegiance.
Oh, you hear, Count Claudio? I can be secret as a dumb man. I should have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now that's your grace's part. Mark how short the answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If it were so, so were it uttered.
Like the old tale, my lord. It is not so, nor 'twas not so, but indeed, God forbid, it should be so.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for she is very well worthy.
You speak as to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever the obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a recheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself the right to trust none. The fine is, for the which I go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking? Pick out thine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, however dost fall from this faith, thou shalt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat, and shoot at me, and he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try, the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns, and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, here is good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedict, the married man.
This should ever happen. Thou wouldst be horn mad.
Oh, nay, if Cupid hath spent all his quiver in Venice, thou shalt quake for this shortly.
I look for an earthquake, too, then.
You temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonato's, commend me to him, and tell him I shall not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you
To the tuition of God from my house if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend Benedict.
Nay, mock not, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometime guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience. And so, I leave you.
My liege, your highness may now do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and you will see it apt to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that worth thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, that I liked her ere I went to wars.
You shall be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. Thou dost love her, cherish it, and I will break with her and her father, and she shall be thine. Was it not to this end that you beganest to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love, that no loves grief by its complexion, But lest my liking too sudden seem, I would have salved a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is necessity. What will serve is fit? 'Tis once thou lovest, and I shall fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero that I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force, and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then will I to her father break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
How now, brother? Where is my cousin your son? Hath he provided the music?
He is very busy about it. But, brother, I may tell you strange things that you have not yet dreamt of.
Are they good?
As the event sounds it, they show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio, walking in a thick pleached alley in mine orchard, were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to the count that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge this night in a dance, and if he found her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break the view of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow. I will send for him that you may question him yourself.
No, no, we will hold it as a dream until it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer, if peradventure it be so. Go you and tell her of it.
Good year. My lord, why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, then at least a patient sufferance.
Wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and wait on no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this, till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible that you should take true root but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better fits my blood to be disdained of all, than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
But can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it. for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I've just come yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an impending marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire? And who, which way looks he?
Mary, upon Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward March chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer as I was smoking a musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I've whipped me behind an arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him anyway, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great dinner. There cheers the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
Oh.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I can never see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. One is too much like an image and says nothing. The other is too much like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
So half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man could win any woman in the world, if he could get her goodwill.
By my faith, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband, if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way. For it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
Ooh. So, by being too cursed, God will send you no horn.
Just, if he sends me no husband. For the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What shall I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? No. He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me. And he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore I shall take even sixpence in earnest of the bear herd and lead his apes into hell.
So then go you into hell?
No, but to the gate.
Oh.
And there will the devil meet me like an old cuckold with horns on his head and say, get you to heaven, Beatrice. Get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids. So deliver I up my apes and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there we live as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, faith. It is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, "Father, as it please you." For all of that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, "Father, as it please me."
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth.
Oh.
Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a piece of valiant dust? To make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, all none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly, I hold it a sin to match with my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault be in the music, cousin, if you not be wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything, and therefore dance out the answer. For hear me, hero, wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a syncopate. The first suit is hot and hasty, like a Scotch jig, as full as fantastical. The wedding, mannerly modest as measure, full of state and ancientry. And then comes repentance, and with his bad legs, falls into the syncopate, faster and faster, until he sinks into his grave.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering, brother. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
And with me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
Will it please you to say so?
And I like your favor. For God defend the lute should be like the case.
My visor is Philemon's roof, but then the house is Jove.
Oh, why then your visor should be fetched.
Speak low if you speak love.
Well, I would you did like me.
Oh, so would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
Oh, I love you the better. The hearers may cry, Amen.
Oh, God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him from my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk is answered.
I know you well enough. You are Signor Antonio.
The word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You could never do him so ill well unless you were the very man. Here's his dry hand up and down. You are he. You are he.
At a word, I am not.
Come, do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to, Mum. You are he. Graces will appear, and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you tell me who you are.
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and got my good wit out of the 100 merry tales? Why, it was Signor Benedict that told you so.
What's he?
Oh, I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he's the prince's jester. A dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he's in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He will break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure, not marked nor laughed at, strikes him into melancholy, and then is a partridge wing saved for the fool will eat no supper that night. Come, we must follow the leader.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead us to any ill, I'll leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn with her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal to his birth. You may do the part of a honest man in it. How know you he loves her? I heard him swear her affections.
So did I too. And I heard him say you would marry her tonight.
Let us to the great banquet.
Thus answer on the name of Benedict, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count Claudio?
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow, about your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck like an usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
That's spoken like an honest drover, so they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy who stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
It will not be. I'll leave you.
Alas, poor herd fowl, now will he creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me. The prince's fool. Ha! It may be I go about that title because I am merry. But yea, so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person, and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged, as I may.
Now, where's the Count? Have you seen him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here, as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had gotten the goodwill of this young lady, and offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland, as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod, as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make trust a transgression? The transgression is the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss that the rod had been made, and the garland too, for the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing, and return them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith, you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel with you. The man who danced with her said, she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak with but one green leaf on it would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking that I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poignards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all Adam had left him before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules have turned spit, yea, and have cleft his club to make the fire too. Come, talk not of her. You shall find her the infernal Ate in good apparel. I would to God that some scholar would conjure her. For certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go now, on the slightest errand to the antipodes that you can devise to send me out on. I will fetch you a toothpicker now, from the furthest inch of Asia. Bring you the length of Prester John's foot. Fetch you a hair off the great Cham's beard. Do you any embassage to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy? Oh. You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure. My lady tongue.
Come, Lady Beatrice. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him good use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it off me with false dice, therefore your grace may say I have lost it.
You put him down, lady. You put him down.
So I would he should not do me, my lord, lest I prove the mother of fools. I have brought you Count Claudio, whom you sent me to see.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore art thou sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil Count. Civil as an orange, and somewhat of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true. Though if he be so, his conceit is false. I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her and her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the date of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortune. His grace hath made the match, and all grace do say amen to it.
Speak, Count! 'Tis your cue.
Silence the perfect coward, Joel. I would be a little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let him not speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it, poor fool. It keeps me on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord, 4 alliance. And thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry hey-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I'd rather one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Would you have me, lady?
No. My lord, not unless I might have another one for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day, but I beseech your grace pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me. To be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my mother cried. But then a star was danced, and under that I was born. Cousin, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry your mercy, uncle. By your grace's pardon.
Ah, by my troth. A pleasant, spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element about her, my lord. She's never sad, but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then, for I have often heard my daughter tell she hath dreamt of unhappiness, and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure the tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Signor Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when means you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches to love have all his rights.
Not until Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 night, and a time too short, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head too long a breathing, but I warrant thee, Claudio, the time will not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one to the other. I would fain have it a match, but I doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will provide such assistance as I shall give thee direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights watching.
And I, my lord.
And you, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
Signor Benedict is not the unhopefulest husband I can think of. Thus far I can praise him. He is of noble strain, of approved valor, and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, so that she will fall in love with Benedict. And with your two helps, we shall practice on Signor Benedict, so that in despite of his quick wit and queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. All his glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I'll tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yeah, my lord. But I can cross it.
Any bar, any cause, any impediment be medicinable to me. For I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year hence how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman on Hero.
I remember.
I can at any unseasonable instant of the night appoint her lookout at her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up, to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero and kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them. I will endeavor anything.
Go then, Find a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal, both to the prince and Claudio, as in love of your brother's honor who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid that you have discovered thus. They will hardly believe this. Without trial, offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window, hear me call Margaret Hero, hear Margaret term me Claudio, and do this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime I will so fashion matters that Hero will be absent, and there will appear such seeming truth of her disloyalty that jealousy will be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife. And now he'd rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. And now will he lie, 10 night awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet, so very many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell, I think not. I'll not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it, till he have made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces come in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord. We'll fit the kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me today? That your niece, Lady Beatrice, was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, aye! Stalk on, the foul sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wondrous that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath by all outward behaviours seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
Indeed, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. 'Tis past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth counterfeit.
Faith like enough.
Oh, God! Counterfeit? There never was counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Make look well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit here, You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did. Indeed.
How? How? I pray you. You amaze me! I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
So would I, my lord, especially against Signor Benedict.
I should think this a gull, but that the old man speaks it. Knavery cannot, sure, hide himself in such reverence.
The Athenian affection, hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never shall. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed, so her daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so often counted him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This, says she now, when she'll be beginning to write a sheet of paper, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, that when she had writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets. Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest as to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, she says, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
And then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so. And the ecstasy hath so much overwrought her that my daughter is sometime afraid she will do a desperate outrage to herself. Oh, 'tis very true.
'Tis good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would but make a sport of it, and torment the poor lady worse.
And if he should, it were an alms to hang him. For she is an excellent, sweet lady, and, out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
Yes, in all things, except for loving Benedict.
My lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body, we have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I am sorry for her, as I have just cause, being her uncle and her guardian.
I would that she had bestowed this dotage upon me. I would have doffed all other respects and made her half myself. Come, shall we seek Benedict and hear what he will say?
Were it good, think you?
Oh, here I think surely she will die. For she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. For if she make her tenderness known to Benedict, 'tis very possible he may scorn it. For, as you all know, the man hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He shows a good outward happiness.
Before God. And in my mind, very wise.
He shows some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you. Though, in the managing of quarrels, some may say he is wise, for either he avoids them altogether, or undertakes them with a most Christian-like fear.
If he do fear God, he must necessarily keep the peace. If he enter into a quarrel, he ought to enter into it with fear and trembling.
And so shall he do, for the man doth fear God. Howsoever in him it seems by some large jests he will make, well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of it?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, That's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we shall hear more of it by your daughter. In the meantime, let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and wish he would modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is of so fine a lady.
Oh, my lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If you do not dote upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
And let the same net be spread for her. That must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. The sport shall be when one holds an opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. Let us bid her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me? Why? It must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth I can bear them witness. And virtuous, 'tis so I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly. For I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled! When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner.
Oh, fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yea, just as much as you may take upon a knife point and choke a dog whistle. Have you no stomach, senor? Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. Why, that's as much to say as any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity of her, I am a villain. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlour. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the prince and Claudia. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower, where honeysuckles, ripened by the sun, forbid the sun to enter, like favorites made proud by princes that advance their pride against the power that bred it. There will she hide her to listen our purpose. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it and leave us alone. I'll make her come. I warrant you presently. Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin. When the poor Beatrice, like a lapwing, once close by the ground to hear our confidence.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish, cut with her golden oars the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then we go near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No! Truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince, and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full, as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man. But nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn right sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on. And her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape, nor project of affection, she is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backwards. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If black, why, nature drawing of an antique made a foul blot. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If low, an agate very vilely cut. If speaking, why, a vein blown with all winds. If silent, why, a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather, I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy, always excepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedick, for shape, for bearing, argument and valor goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's blind, I warrant you. We've caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes perhaps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fires in mine ears? Can this be truth? Stand I condemned with pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell. In maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee.
to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate. Then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring you hither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
That would be a greatest stain in the new gloss of your marriage, is to show a child his new coat, and then forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Signor Benedict, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot, he is all mirth. He has twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and little hangman dare not shoot at him. He has a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue is the clapper for what his heart thinks. His tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Oh. Hang him, truant! There be no drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it. You must draw it first and hang it afterwards.
Oh, what sigh for a toothache.
Where is but a humor or a worm?
Well, everyone can master a grief but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love.
There be no appearance of fancy in him, unless it's a fancy to strange disguises, to be a Dutchman today, a Frenchman tomorrow, or in the shape of two countries at once, a German from the waist downwards, all slops, or a Spaniard from the hip upward, no doublet. Unless there's a fancy to his foolery, which it appears he had. He is no fool for fancy, as you would have it appear he is.
If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs. He brushes his hat all the mornings. What should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him. The old ornament of his cheek has already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did. By the loss of a beard.
Nay, he rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much as say the sweet youth's in love.
Ah, the greatest note of it is in his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, for I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string and now governed by stops.
Yea, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, conclude.
He is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
Yea, that's what I do too. One that knows him not.
Yea, and his ill conditions, and, in spite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upward.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache. Old Signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak with you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
Oh, by my soul, to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Here and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and the two bears shall not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Goodeen, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you. If Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me, by that I now will manifest for my brother. I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart, hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
Came hither to tell you, in circumstances shortened, for she is too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she. Leonato's hero. Your hero. Every man's hero.
Disloyal?
I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight, and you will see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her, but it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation. Where I would wed, there I will shame her.
Yea. And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
No! O day, untowardly turn!
Oh, mischief strangely thwarted.
There's the plague right well prevented.
Are you honest men and true?
Yea, or else it were a pity that they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them, if they've any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well?
Give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
Oh, first, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh O'Cake, sir, or George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is a gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Of both which, Master Constable?
You have! I knew it'd be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, give God thanks and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, well, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. You are thought to be the most senseless and fit man for constable. Therefore, bear you the lantern. Here is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
Ooh. And how if they shall not stand?
Why then let them go.
and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If they will not stand when they are bidden, they are none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise, for the watch to talk and babble is most tolerable and will not be endured.
Oh! We would rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you sound like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only, have care that your bills be not stolen. You are to call at the alehouses and bid those that are drunk to get them to bed. Ooh.
And how if they shall not?
Why then let them alone till they are sober. If they make you then not the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief in the night, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of man, the less you meddle or make with them, the more is for your honesty.
Ooh. If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, you may, but I think those that touch pitch shall be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
I would not hang a dog by my will, nor a man with any honesty in him.
If you hear a child crying in the night, you must call to a nurse and have her distill it.
Ooh.
How if the nurse be asleep and cannot hear us?
Why then depart in peace, and let the child wake her with its crying. For the sheep that will not answer a lamb when he baas will never answer a calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
Well, masters, this is the end of your charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him. Ooh.
Nay, by Our Lady, I think he cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it. With any man that knows the statutes, he may. Marry, not without the prince be willing. For the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it is so.
Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call up me. Until then, keep your fellows' counsel and your own good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here till 2, and then all to bed.
One more thing on this paper. I pray you keep watch about Signor Leonato's door, for the wedding being there tomorrow, there's a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant, I beseech you.
What, Conrad?
Peace! Stir not!
Conrad, I say.
Here, man, I am at thy elbow.
Mass, and my elbow itched, I thought there would a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that, but now forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close, then, under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore, know that this night I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
Thou showst that thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the fashion of a cloak or a doublet or a hat is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
No, I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Hush, I may as well say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that deformed. He's been a vile thief this 7 years. He goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, it was the vane on the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily he turns out all the hot bloods between 15 and 35, sometimes fashioning them like the Pharaoh's soldiers in the Ricci painting, sometimes like the god Baal's priests in the old church window, sometimes like the shaven Hercules in the smirched worm-eating tapestry where his codpiece seems as nasty as his club.
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, that thou shiftst out of thy tale into telling me of the fashion? Not so neither.
But know that this night I have wooed Margaret by the name of Hero. She leans me out at her lady's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw far in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they that Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio. But the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths which first possessed them, and partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy. And away went Claudio, enraged.
We charge you in the prince's name! Stand!
Call up the right master constable. We have here apprehended the most dangerous piece of treachery in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock.
Masters.
You'll be made bring deformed forth, I warrant you.
Masters.
Do not speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
We're like to prove a goodly commodity, being taken up of these men's bills.
The commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
I will, lady.
And where is my hither?
Well,
Rose, I think your other bravado are better.
No. Pray be good make all my things.
By my troth is not over, and I warned your cousin as I said.
My cousin is a fool, and thou art another. A word on the things.
I like the new Tyrolean excellently, if the hair were a thought browner. And your gown's the most rare fashion in faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth, it's but a nightgown in respect of yours. Cloth of gold, with cuts, and lace with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts round underborne with bluish tinsel. But for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 of it.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee, art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I would think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband. And bad thinking do not rust true speaking. I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think, and it be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
Good morrow, coz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I am out of all other tune, methinks.
Claps into light of love. That goes without a burden. Do you sing it and I'll dance it.
Oh, ye light of love with your heels. Then, if your husband have stables enough, you shall see he will lack no bars.
Oh, illegitimate construction. I scorn that with my heels.
It's almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I'm exceedingly ill. Hi-ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
The letter that begins all of them, H.
Well, and you be not turned Turk, there's no more sailing by the star.
What means the full trow?
Nothing I, but God send everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
I cannot smell, cousin, I'm stuffed.
A maid? And stuffed? There's a goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Even since you left it, doth not my wit become me rarely.
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap.
By my troth, I am sick. Get you some distilled Carduus Benedictus and lay it on your heart. That's the only thing for a qualm.
There, thou prickst her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? Is there some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, by lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think. If I would think my heart out of you, that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. And yet Benedict was such another, and now he's become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, despite his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you be converted, me know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the galleons of the town are come.
Help to dress me, good coz, good Meg, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbours?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you may see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, that it is, sir.
Yes, indeed it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
A good man, Verger, sir, speaks a little off the mark. An old man, sir, and his wits are not as blunt as, God help, I would desire they were. But if faith, as honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God that I'm as honest as any man, living, that is an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, palabrous, neighbor Verges.
Neighbours, you are tedious.
It please your worship to say so. But truly, we are but poor duke's officers. But truly, if I were as tedious as a king, I would bestow all of it on your worship.
All thy tedious on me, huh?
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis, for I hear as good exclamation on your worship as of any man in the city. And though I am but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what it is you have to say.
Marry, sir, that our watch tonight, except in your worship's presence, has taken a couple of errant knaves as any in Messina.
A good old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said, a faith, neighbor. Well, God's a good man, and 2 men ride of a horse, 1 must ride behind. An honest soul he is, by my faith, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
I must leave you.
And 1 word, sir. Our watch tonight have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it to me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffragance.
Drink some wine ere thee go. Fare thee well.
My lord, they say for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good neighbor, go. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive some of them to a non-come. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterward.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
My lady, you come hither to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Oh, what men dare do. What men may do. What men dare do, not knowing what they do.
How now? Interjections? Why then some be of laughing as ah-ha-he.
Stand me by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, as you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take her back again! Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none! She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is giddiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married. Not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity...
I know what you will say. If I have known her, you will say she'd embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sin. No! Leonardo, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee! Seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as dying in her orb, as chaste as ere the bud is blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wild?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I say? I stand dishonored, that have gone to link my friend to a common stay.
Are these words spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True, oh God!
Leonardo, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face heroes? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of it, my lord?
Let me move but one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh God, defend me, how am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry, that can hero. Hero itself can blot out hero's virtue. What man was he talking with you yesternight? Out at your window betwixt 12 and 1. Now if you are a maid, answer to this!
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord!
Why then are you no maiden? Leonardo, I am sorry you must hear this. For upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her at that hour last night talk with a ruffian at her bedchamber window, who, like a most liberal villain, did confess the vile encounters they had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be spoke of, my lord, not to be named. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
O hero, what if here hadst thou been? If half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart, would fare thee well, most foul, most fair, farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee, I'll lock up all the gates of love, and all my eyelids shall conjecture hand, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
How now, Casimiro? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, Uncle! Hero. Why, Hero? Uncle! Signor Benedict! Friar?
O fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why, doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not look up, hero, do not ope thine eyes. For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die, thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, myself would upon the rearward of reproaches strike at thy life! Grieved I had but one! Should I for that at frugal nature's frame? Oh, one too much by thee, why had I one? Why wast thou ever lovely in mine eyes? Why had I not with charitable hand took up a beggar's issue at my gate, who smirched thus and mad with infamy I might have said, no part of this is mine, this shame derives itself from unknown loins, but mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine I was proud on, mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine valuing of her. Why, she is fallen into a pit of ink, that the white sea hath dropped through you to wash clean again, and salt too little which may season give to her foul-tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired and wonder, I know not what to say.
On my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No. Truly not, although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed! Oh, that is stronger maid which before was bound up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie, and Claudio lie, that loving her so, speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die!
Hear me a little. For I have only been silent so long, and given way unto this course of fortune by noting of the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames and angel whiteness beat away those blushes, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the error these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my readings nor my observations, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekst thou then to cover with excuses that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, which man is he that you are accused of?
They know that to accuse me, I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. My father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor. And if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirit's toiling frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried up this blood of mine, nor age so ate up my invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor my bad life so reft me of friends, that they shall find awaked in such a kind, both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability in means, and choice of friends, to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the princes left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What will become of this? What will this do?
Marry, this, well carried, shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. But not for that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She, dying, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be pitied, lamented, and excused of every hearer. For so it falls out that what we have, we prize not to the worth whiles we enjoy it. But being lacked and lost, why, then we rack the value. Then we find the virtue possession would not show us whiles it was ours. So shall it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her, no, though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better likelihood, better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. But if all aim but this be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive and religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonardo, let the friar advise you in this. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the Princess Claudio, yet by mine honor I will deal as secretly and justly in this as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow with grief, all this twine may leave me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for to strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no need. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
Oh, how much might the man deserve of me who would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way. There's no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
Strange is the thing I know not. Were it possible for me to say there's nothing I love as well as you, but believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing nor deny nothing. I'm sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You've stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart, there's none left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it, farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
Nay, I have gone though I am here. There's no love in you. I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height a villain? That he has slandered, scored, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man. What? Bear her in hand until they come to take heads, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh, that I were a man, I'd eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out a window, a proper saint.
Nay, but Beatrice!
Sweet hero! She is wronged. She is slandered. She is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, a princely testimony, a goodly count. Count compact a sweet gallant, surely. That I were a man for his sake, or had a friend who would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesy, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, who only says a lie and swears by it. I will not be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice. By this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I'm engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so, farewell.
Is our whole assembly appeared?
A stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Mary, that am I, and my partner.
Nay, that's for certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. Come, what is your name, friend?
Borachio.
Pray, write down Borachio. And yours, sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. And write God first. For God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves, and will go near to be thought so shortly. How say you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with it. Come you hither, sirrah, a word in your ear. Sir, I say it is thought that you are false knaves.
Sir, I say you we are none.
Stand aside, they are both in a tale. Have you written down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you, in the name of the prince, accuse these men.
Oh! This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, it is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you say him else, fellow?
Ooh!
Mary, that he'd received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
As flat burglary as ever was committed.
Aye, by my mash, that it is.
What else, fellow?
Ooh!
Master Claudio, by his words, to disgrace hero before the whole assembly, and not marry her.
Oh, villain! Thou will be condemned into everlasting redemption for this!
What else?
Ooh!
That is all. And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Hero was in this very manner accused, in this very manner refused, and on the grief of this, suddenly died. Let these men be bound and brought to Leonato's. I will go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinions.
Yes, let them be in the hand. Constable!
God's my life, where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer costume. Come thou naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. And though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. No, villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise man, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh in any in Messina. And one that knows the law, go to. And a rich enough fellow, go to. And one that hath had losses. And one that hath 2 gowns and every handsome thing about him. Take him away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself. And 'tis not wisdom such to second grief against oneself.
I pray thee cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ear as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a father who so loved his child, whose joy of her was overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. Measure his woe, the length and breadth of mine, and let it answer every strain for strain, as thus for thus, and such a grief for such, in every lineament, branch, shape, and form. If such a one can smile and stroke his beard, bid sorrow wag, cry hem when he should groan, patch grief with proverbs, make misfortune drunk with candle wasters, bring him yet to me, and I of him will gather patience. But there is no such man. For brother, men can counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not feel, but tasting it, their counsel turns to passion, which before would give perceptual medicine to rage, fed to madness with a silken thread, charm ache with air, and agony with words. No, no, 'tis all men's office to speak comfort to those that wring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Therein do men from children nothing differ.
I pray thee, peace! I will be flesh and blood. For there was never yet philosopher who could endure the toothache patiently, no matter how they may have writ the style of gods and made a push at chance and sufferance.
Yet bend not all this harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakst reason. Nay, I will do so. My heart does tell me that Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know. So shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the Prince and Claudio hastily.
Good e'en. Good
day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonato.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare thee well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay. Do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Marry, dost thou dissembler thou? Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Marry, beshrew my hand. Did you give your age such cause of fear? In faith my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Tush, tush, man, never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool, as under privilege of age to brag what I had done being young, or what would do were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy head. Thou hast so wronged mine innocent child and me that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with grey hairs and bruise of many days do challenge thee to trial of a man. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where ne'er scandal slept, save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say!
You say not right, old man.
My lord. My lord. I'll prove it on his body if he dare, despite his nice pence and active practice, his May of youth and bloom of lustihood.
Away, I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so duff me? Thou hast killed my child! If thou killst me, boy, thou killst a man.
He shall kill two of us, and men indeed. But that's no matter. Let him kill one first. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir boy. Come, follow me. Sir boy, I'll whip you from your pointing fence. Nay, as I am a gentleman, I will. But content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead, slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man indeed as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milksops.
But brother...
Hold your contempt! What, man? I know them, and what they weigh, yea, even to the utmost scruple. Scrambling, outfacing, fashion-mongering boys that lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander, go antically and show outward hideousness, and speak off half-dozen dangerous words, how they might hurt their enemies if they durst, and that is all.
But brother,
come, 'tis no matter, do not you meddle, I will deal in
Gentlemen, both. We will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for the death of your daughter, but she was charged with nothing but what was true, and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord.
I will not hear thee.
No. Come, brother. I will be heard.
And shall. Or some of us will smart for it.
Ah, see. Here comes the man we sent to seek.
Now, senor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Good day, senor. You are almost come to part, almost a fray.
We'd like to have had our two noses snapped off with little men without teeth.
Senor Leonato and his brother. What thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we would have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel, there can be no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We went up and down to seek thee, for we are high of melancholy and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wits. I will bid thee draw, as we do the minstrels. Draw to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Though sick or angry?
Oh, what? Courage, man. What though care kill a cat? Thou hast metal enough thee to kill care.
Sir, I shall meet your wit in the career, and you charge it against me. I pray you, choose another subject.
Nay, give another staff. This last was broke cross.
By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
A feast! A feast!
In faith, I thank him. He hath bid me to a catch and a capon, which we do not carve most curiously. Say my nice not. Shall I not find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said thou hadst a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. No, said I, a great wit. That, said she, a great gross one. Nay, said I, a good wit. True, said she, for it hurts no one. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Certain, said she, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. That, I believe, said she, for he swore something to me Monday night, which he forswore Tuesday morning. There's a double tongue, there's two tongues. Thereby an hour together she did transshape thy particular virtues, though at the end she did conclude thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily, and said she cared not.
Aye, that she did, for if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly.
All. And, moreover, God saw him who was hid in the garden.
So, when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yea, and text underneath. Here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humors. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which, God be thanked, hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Messina. You have, among you, killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest, and I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
Huh. The funny thing is man when he goes off in his hose and doublet and leaves off his wit.
He's not a giant to an ape, but that is an ape a doctor to such a man.
But soft, you let me be, and pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir. If justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her bounds. Nay, be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
Oh, now two of my brother's men bound and Borachio one.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men committed?
Marry, sir, they have given false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanderers. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they've done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. Sixth, and lastly, why they are committed. And, to conclude, what lay you their charge?
Rightly reasoned, and in his own division and by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Gentlemen, who have you offended that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is far too cunning to be understood.
Sweet prince, let me go no further to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me? I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the Lady Hero. How you were brought and saw me woo Margaret in Hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should have married her. My villainy they have upon record, which I'd rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and, in brief, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee on this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of villainy. Fled is he upon his treachery.
O sweet hero, now thy image doth appear, and the fair semblance that I loved at first. Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve that I am an ass.
Sir, here comes Master Senior Leonato, and the sexton too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
You would know you're wrong or look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hath killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
Not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honourable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank thee, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your revenge can lay upon my sin. Yet I sinned not, but in mistaking.
Not my soul nor I. And yet to satisfy this good man, I will bend under any heavy weight you'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labour aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost a copy of the one that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin. And so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your overkindness doth bring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow then we will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, whom I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not. Nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything I do know by her.
And moreover, sir, which is indeed not under the white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. I beg you let it be remembered in his punishment. Also, the watch heard them talk of one deformed. They say he wears a key in his ear and a lock hanging by it, and hath borrowed money so long in God's name and never paid it back, that now men grow hard-hearted and will lend nothing for God's sake. I pray you examination him upon this point.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a reverend and most thankful youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
Go! I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, the which I beseech your worship to correct for the example of others. Go
God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting may be wished, why God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'm one with Hero.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll talk to Margaret, see how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it. For in most comely truth, thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me, why shall I always keep below the stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth. It catches.
Yours is as blunt as Spencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret. It will not hurt a woman. And so I pray thee, call Beatrice. I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords. We have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, Margaret, you must put in the pikes with a vice. And they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well then, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come.
The God of love, who sits above, and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving Leander the good swimmer, Troilus the first employer of panders, and a whole bookful of these quondam carpetmongers whose names yet run smoothly in the even road of a blank verse. Why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Marry, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme to lady, but baby. An innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn. A hard rhyme. For school, fool. A babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, or I cannot ruin festival terms. Lady Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, signor, depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well. And yet, ere I go, let me go with what I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudia.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore, I shall depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee now, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For all of them together, which maintained so politic a state of evil, they did not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I shall spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 who would praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the time of good neighbors.
If a man do not erect in this age his own tomb ere he dies, he shall live no longer in monument than the bell rings and the widow weeps.
And how long is that, think you?
Question. Why, an hour in clamor and a quarter in room. Therefore is it most expedient for the wise, if Don Worm, his conscience, find no impediment to the contrary, to be the trumpet of his own virtues, as I am to myself. So much for praising myself, who, I myself will bear witness, is praiseworthy. And now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
How do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There will I leave you, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. Yonder's old coil. It is proven my lady Hero hath been falsely accused. The prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death, in garden of her wrongs, gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. I kneel there upon her tomb, praising her when I am done. Now, music, sound and sing your song in praise.
Pardon, goddess of the night, those that slew thy virgin night. For the witch weep with songs of woe, round about her tomb they go. Midnight, assist our moan, help us to sigh and groan, heavily, heavily. Crazy on and yield your death, till death be uttered. Heavily, heavily. Now, unto thy bones good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Good morrow, masters. Put out your torches. wolves have preyed, and look. For the wheels of Phoebus, round about dapples the drowsy east with spots of gray. Thank you all, and leave us. Farewell.
Good morrow, masters. Each his several way.
Come. Let us put on other weeds, and then to Leonato we will go.
And time and now, with luckier she speeds, net this for whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you that she was innocent?
So are the Prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for all of this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
I, for one, am glad all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith enforced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Now, daughter, and gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I call for you, come forth masked. You know your office, brother. You must play father to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I do with confirmed countenance. Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, signor?
To bind me or undo me. One of them. Signor Leonato, truth it is, good signor, that your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That eye my daughter lent her. 'Tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight of which I think you got from me, from Claudio and the prince. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your goodwill may stay with ours, this day to be conjoined in honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with thy liking.
And my help. Ah, here come the Prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you determined yet to marry today with my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind.
Call her forth, brother. Is the friar ready?
Tomorrow, Signor Benedict. Why the February face? It's full of storm and cloudiness.
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold. And all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as once Europa did at lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love.
Bull Jove, sir, had an amiable low, and some such strange bull left your father's cow, and got a calf in that same noble feat, much like to you, for you have just his beliefs.
Oh. For this, I owe you. Here come other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same as she. And I do give her to you.
Why then, she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No! That you shall not, until you take her hand before this holy friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this friar, I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiant, but I do live. And surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero. Hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify. When after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us present them.
Soft and fair, Friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no! No more than reason.
Why, then, your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Truth, no more than reason.
Why, then my cousin, Margaret and Ursula were all deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were not dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Oh, come, cousin. I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here's a letter. Written in his own hand. A halting sonnet of his pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another! Written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection onto Benedict.
A miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I'll have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day, I yield upon much persuasion. And partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace! I will stop thy mouth.
How now, Benedict? The married man.
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of witcrackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No. If a man will be beaten with brains, he shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I shall think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it. And therefore, never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing. And this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
I well hope thou wouldst have denied Beatrice, that I might have cudgelled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer, which, out of question, thou wilt be, if my cousin do not look exceedingly narrowly to thee.
Come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word. Therefore, play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife. There is no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
My lord! Your brother John is taken in flight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise the brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!